Because we're all just.
Do your vocals sound too clean in GarageBand? They just sound like they need a little something to roll them in the dirt a bit. Well, in this video, I'm going to tell you how to add some grit to your vocals in GarageBand. Let's go.
Ouch. Nobody's no.
Hi, my name is Pete, and welcome back to yet another 5-minute tip in GarageBand iOS. Let's dive in. One of the great things about recording in a digital environment is you don't get that tape hiss, that distortion, that background noise in your recordings, but it can leave them sounding a little bit clean and bare. So how do we make them a little bit dirtier and add a little distortion and crunch? Well, here's one way you can go about it. Here's the vocals for my song Work in Progress, which I recorded right here in GarageBand. If we take a listen,
Nobody's knowing all they can.
they sound good enough, but there's something missing, isn't it? It's just too clean. Now, the options that we can use is to go here to your plugins and your EQ, and you can add in things like overdrive or distortion or saturation to give them a little bit more grit. Or you can use this method, and that is to duplicate this track, create a second copy, and then add our effects to that track. This basically gives you a grit dial for turning up the grittiness.
And there he is, and he was giving it to some Ranger fans.
Of your vocals. Let's show you how. We're going to tap here on the icon of the track. We're going to tap on duplicate, and then what we need to do is actually tap and drag and cover all of this section all the way across, and then tap again and hit copy. Now come to our new track and make sure that our playhead is lined up. You may need to zoom in here. This is why I recommend that you make sure that your vocals start, or any track starts, right on one of your grid lines here. We can now tap and hit paste. And now what we've got is 2 copies of this vocal track. If we play it now, it's not going to do much. It's just going to be twice the volume. So let's solo just this second vocal, the copy that we've made here. And the first thing I want to do is just rename it. So just so that we remember what we've done here, we're just going to call this lead vocals grit. And then we're going to come up here to our effects. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to turn off everything. We're starting from scratch. We're just using this as a blank canvas. Now, if we play this vocal as it is, it sounds like this.
Nobody's knowing all they.
Really flat, really clean. Let's start adding a couple of plugins. We're going to hit the edit button here. I'm just going to get rid of this effect EQ. It doesn't really do much. Hit the plus button here, and let's add distortion. So by default, we're going to get 6 dBs of drive at around 1,000 hertz. Let's just listen to this out of the box.
Nobody's knowing all they.
Now, that's okay, but this tone is a little bit low. I tend to turn this up. I like the distortion to be at a higher tone. So this is going to filter out those lower frequencies. Take a listen now.
Not everything will go to plan.
That's a little bit better. The other thing we can choose to do here is actually roll off our bottom end even more, and maybe even boost the top end. So if we come here to our visual EQ, we can grab this one and roll off the low end, and we can even give our treble a little boost up here at the top end. And then we're going to get something like this.
You might be set up.
And you get that almost bullhorn kind of sound now, because it's grabbing those upper frequencies and it's adding that distortion. You can even turn up the drive to get even more distorted sound.
Or you might get fed up.
Now, by itself, going to sound kind of terrible. If we bring it back with our original vocals, even at that same volume, it's not going to sound great.
Maybe you just need a help.
It kind of sounds like it's overblown. However, the magic, the secret sauce comes in the fact that we can now blend this in to our original vocal. So let's go back to the start of this verse phrase and blend this one in a little bits at a time here. Let's take a listen.
Nobody's knowing all they can. Not everything will go to plan.
And what you're hearing there is that with too much of it, doesn't sound great. If we remove it entirely, it goes back to that clean sound. But if we add in just a little bit, you can really just enhance the vocal, and you'll really hear it cut through when we bring it back here with the rest of the track.
Nobody's knowing all they can.
So using this trick along with your compression and doubling your vocals and other things we've showed here on the channel before just gives you another tool for your kit bag when it comes to creating sounds in GarageBand. You can, of course, use this on your guitars, your drums, your basses, anything you like. Anytime you want to create a slider for just one particular element of your sound, this is going to work well for you.